All right, so I'm closing up my jet skis for the wintertime, and I was going to show you a product I use to keep the batteries charged throughout the winter while they're in the garage. The first one I'm going to show you here is the battery tender and which size I use and why. And then the other, I was going to show you what I'm running in the jet skis, this Odyssey Extreme battery, and having great success with that. So um, a lot of times people ask that have power sports equipment, what type of battery charger should I use? Why should I use this one over that one? And sometimes people get what I would call an undersized battery charger, and it can maintain a battery, but can't really bring a battery back to life. To kind of give you an idea, I actually have 4 of these. And mine are a little bit of an older model because I've had them for a little while. But I will have product links for this one. And like I said, it'd be maybe a little bit more updated than this one, but it's going to have the similar operation in case you come across this style. Or the new one has got, I think the writing is going this direction rather than going what I would call landscape. So going over the battery tender here, what you normally get in the box is you're going to get the 4-amp charger. Mine has the disconnect port right here, and also some accessories have that same style that you can find for alligator clips or any other kind of clips to connect into batteries, or if you're trying to charge the battery in the car, or if you're wanting to charge it out of the vehicle like I'm doing here. So for a jet ski, I don't like to charge them in there. I like to actually pull them out and charge them out. Sometimes, say you got an ATV, you may want to pull or leave the battery in, or if you have a camper, we also use this on our camper. So you may want to leave that battery on the unit and then attach these terminals, or you may want to use the alligator clips if you're just doing this temporarily. But that is a nice feature where you can leave something like what I've got attached here and just unplug it at the quick port here. So to show you on my unit, the opposite end is here, and you can't get this wrong. So it's going to let you plug it up, and you can't get this connection incorrect. That's how they've set it up from the factory. And they have it fused on this side. So if something goes wrong, this fuse will blow. So you're not having to worry about something going wrong. This is a 7.5 amp fuse right here. And on my unit, the alligator clips came separate. So you can, just same fitting as on this side right here, where you can just plug that in, and then you can attach that to your battery. The new style has this where they actually unbolt. They have like an Allen head screw or a regular bolt right here that comes loose, and then you can put the terminals on like that, so you're not having to keep up with 2 pieces. I kind of like having 2 separate pieces though, because I can leave this, say, on the car that I've got in the garage, and then I can use this just to keep attached to the batteries themselves for the jet skis. And then I can just, if I say I only have one of these, I can swap it between the car or the ATV battery or the jet ski battery, which is nice. That's why I kind of like this setup better than being able to detach from the alligator clip. I'll see if I can find those on Amazon, and I'll put links for that if they have sets like this still available, because I think it gives you a little bit more flexibility. And you do get that same fused connection right there with a 7.5 amp fuse. All right, the instructions on mine, they may be the same on the newer models, but they kind of explain right here what the battery function or the lights, the LED lights are going to do. I'll leave it right there if you're interested to pause and want to see and read over that to make sure it's going to meet your needs. But like I said, most people get the smaller, like a 750 milliamp. And to me, that's good for, say, maintaining a battery, but I'm liking to keep a battery completely charged and also restore a battery if for some reason it's gotten low voltage or anything like that. This one is selectable between 12 volt and 6 volt. So you just, before you plug your battery in, you're going to select between your 2 voltages there. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but I'm on 12 volt, 6 volt, and you can go between an AGM flooded or a lithium LiPo battery there. So you get a blinking status that's telling you when it's charging, and then it blinks green, I think, a few times once it's almost fully charged. I think it's when it's at 80%, and it's going to be solid green when it's fully charged. So I'll kind of plug this battery up. This is a 12-volt AGM battery, and this is a sealed battery. So you could see now, if that shows up on camera, now I have a solid amber light right here. That's indicating that the battery is charging. And then on the back of this, I'll try to show you that. It's going to show you what those indicator lights mean right here at the top. So if you're flashing amber, AC power is applied, the battery's not connected properly. So if you somehow get these mixed up, or you use the alligator clips and get that mixed up, it's not going to damage your battery. You're just going to get that flashing amber light. The steady amber light means it's charging the battery. The green flashing is that the battery's charged greater than 80%, and solid green is telling you that the charge is complete. So again, I will link a model for this 4 amp style charger, and those the lights, I believe, are exactly the same for that model. But again, like I mentioned, I've had these for a little bit. We have 4 of these, and the reason I have 4 is I have a car that's in the garage, and I like to keep that car on charge and have that battery ready whenever I want to drive that car. So it's a 2002 Honda S2000. It has no problem charging that battery and keeping that battery charged. And that car normally sits in the garage, is driven a couple of times a year. So it's a 2002 with 75,000 miles. And I believe I still have the original battery in that car because I've kept one of these on there. That may not be true for every battery that this thing charges, but for me, that has been true for this vehicle. I have 2 jet skis. One's a Honda Aquatrax F12X, and I have a Yamaha Limited, VX Limited, and 2017 VX Limited. And this is the second battery I've had to purchase, and we'll talk about the battery in a second. But that's the second battery I've had to purchase, but this is, I think I didn't have this at the time, and this is a great battery now that the other battery was not a sealed battery. So that's why when I talk about this battery, I'll tell you why I would go with that. We also have a camper. We have a 2019 Highwall 296 by Rockwood, and it has a full-size battery on it, and I keep one of these charging that battery at all times so that the camper battery is ready to go. And again, I believe that's the original battery on that camper, and since I've had these chargers and using it for the camper. The other product I'll talk about real quick is this Odyssey battery, and I had, it was a battery that was not sealed, and this was on my 2017 Yamaha VX. It had a vent tube on it, and I had battery acid vent out of the vent tube onto some of the decals on that Wave Runner, and it ruined the decal. And I was very adamant about maintaining my batteries, making sure the water levels were accurate, always charging that battery. That battery, though, leaked acid all over the decals of that jet ski. And so that's why I switched over to the sealed battery specifically on the jet ski. Now, you may not need a sealed battery on an ATV or whatever it is that you're running, but I would highly recommend if you've got a battery that vents, switch it out to some type of sealed battery. And this Odyssey brand, they are a little bit pricey, but they're definitely worth it. This model is the PC625, but you can check on the Odyssey website, and I'll also have links to this specific battery. I'll have an Amazon link to their Odyssey store. I've had great success with this battery, and I would definitely recommend for any of your power equipment to switch them over to some type of sealed battery, and the Odyssey's done really well for me. So again, just talking about what I use when I'm winterizing my jet skis, what do I use for my lawnmower, what do I use for automobiles and camper to keep those batteries maintained. Highly recommend the Battery Tender products, and I would go with something in a 3 amp or 4 amp and up. And then also highly recommend for your ATVs, any of your power equipment, go to sealed batteries, get a good sealed battery, something like an Odyssey. I know other people have different brands, but this is the brand I've been using. Had good success, specifically the PC625. Hopefully this information was useful or helpful for you, and if it was, please subscribe and share. And that's to the point.